So Mark, how are you finding the conference?
Conference going really well, Tom. Really well. So it's the ACORD kind of GRLC community, Global Reinsurance Large Commercial, supported by lots of global reinsurers around the world and specialty brokers as well. So this event is great for us because we get to bring everyone together, get to collaborate on where's the industry going. It's a big underwriting event, this one, so it actually gives us a really good insight into what are some of the pain that underwriters are facing and how can we help them with standards-based answers. Yeah.
So that was what I was going to ask, because this is a deal-making event
Absolutely.
predominantly and has been historically. I think ACORD would tend to deal with kind of operational people, data people,
Yep.
Analysis people. What are the additional bits that you're getting out of underwriters this week?
It's actually where I was going to lead today's kind of conversation with you, was very much ACORD of old have the ACORD GRLC community, let's say, been very much, as you said, focused on back office accounting claim-based processes. How can we operationalise that? How can we digitise that exchange? Now there's a real focus on underwriting, that pre-bind experience. How can we digitise that initial submission right the way through the binding of that policy for treaty and fact for reinsurance brokers and reinsurers? How can we digitise that experience? And obviously cedents as well as part of that. ACORDs have the standards. It's now about operationalising the core systems of those senders and receivers to be able to exchange that data digitally. So there's a real focus there. Underwriters ultimately don't want to rekey data. So how can we help them with that experience? How can we improve data accuracy? How can they feed data into Supercede or receive data from Supercede in a consistent fashion every single time from their core systems? That's a real topic area of conversation while we're here. Yeah.
And these guys will always, what I always hear from underwriters when we talk to them is, I do weird and wonderful deals that don't fit into a standard, they don't fit into a box. We don't, the technology doesn't work for me because I'm special.
Yep.
Is that something that you hear, and how do you
relentlessly hear the same thing? And I think my age-old answer is, we do not have anything to do with the way in which you price your risk. Your insightful background knowledge, your 30 years in the industry and weathering many a cat event and know the nuances of it. We're not interested in that. All we're interested in getting that data to you so you can make those informed underwriting decisions. Without that rekeying, the data which comes to you is more accurate. You're not making informed decisions on potentially out of date or inaccurate information. You're getting it in a consistent structure quickly, directly into your hands. That's us.
And are you hearing anything different this year compared to previous years?
Interestingly, so obviously cat losses, relatively being like a stable-ish year in general for cat, but we're seeing a big rise in fire, which is an interesting dynamic. Seeing that across the board, lots of underwriters talk to me about fire risk being on the up, and it's quite an interesting dynamic. What's causing those fires? Is there an impact from obviously people and organisations kind of recovering from COVID, where they may have lost skill sets around fire prevention and fire security, that actually now is actually causing a big, increase in number of fire-related losses this year?
I can see why those insights are super valuable.
Yeah.
How long have you been coming to the event?
This is my 5th year to this event. So this is my 3rd year for ACORD. 3rd year for ACORD, that's right. And then previously I was at a policy administration company and coming to this event. So 5 years now and many more years to come. Yeah.
Excellent. And what's your favourite thing about Baden-Baden?
What's my favourite thing about Baden-Baden? I think what I like about Baden-Baden is it feels a little bit like, especially Congress House, 1,000-odd people in the room making deals. It feels a little bit like Lloyd's of London. Everyone's together, everyone's collaborating, everyone has a common interest of reaching a mutually agreeable deal, and then everyone comes out into a beautiful town which is Baden-Baden and then celebrates and networks and collaborates together. I like that. It feels a little bit like home.
And least favourite thing?
Least favourite thing, the rain. Has to be the rain and my inability to remember an umbrella. Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Mark.
Thank you, Tom.